Video games are made by people like you and me. These are the guys and girls that pre-order tickets for Marvel movies and watch all the big shows on HBO and Netflix. So, it shouldn't come as a surprise that some of these things are referenced in the games they make. Get ready for 10 incredible secrets in recent games.
There you go, you wee little bugger.
The release of God of War and the Avengers Infinity War movie were some of the biggest pop culture events at the beginning of this year. That's why it's so awesome that there's an Infinity Gauntlet in the game. It's called the Shattered Gauntlet of Ages, and you need to collect several fragments to restore its full power. It's not easy to get all these wannabe Infinity Stones, but it's definitely worth it. You really feel like Thanos as you blow away enemies with colorful magical blasts. A Way Out is a co-op game with some very original ideas that involve teamwork between players. This game by Hazelight Studios is also full of little secrets and Easter eggs. There's a pretty obvious Legend of Zelda reference.
Yeah. Now this brings back good memories.
However, our favorite Easter egg has to be the way in which the game pays tribute to Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. This is the game that put Hazelight Studios on the map back in 2013. We can't wait to find out what the next project is of this talented developer.
You heard that? I did.
What was it?
Not sure. It sounded like two boys.
Maybe it's a couple of friends that are out camping.
Why are you so sure they're friends? They could be brothers too.
Yeah.
Kingdom Come Deliverance took all the fantasy out of its medieval setting. However, that doesn't mean that the developers can't have a little fun. There's a clear homage to Game of Thrones in the game in the form of a sword that's called Needle. That might be an obvious inspiration, but the next Easter egg really isn't. You can find the severed claws of Wolverine hidden under some rocks in the forest. How did this X-Men end up in this world? And who cut off his arm? Sadly, these are questions we'll never know the answer to.
No, they didn't go. They were fired! The entire crew walked out. They left! And you know...
We are some of the biggest Blood Dragon fans in the world, so you bet we were hyped when Far Cry 5 paid tribute to this awesome game in a side mission. You need to play the lead role in a movie called Blood Dragon 3 by performing deadly fight scenes with the Angels.
We're out of bodies! I stun people! Angels! Get more!
But that's not the only Ubisoft title that's referenced in Far Cry 5. You can find Vaz and Pagan Min bobbleheads in the game. There's even a reference to the movie It in one of the sewers. Ubisoft sure knows how to hide all sorts of fun stuff in their open world games.
Hello. Welcome to the Detroit Experience. I'm an android and I'll be your hostess. Before we begin, let's make some adjustments to optimize your experience.
Detroit Become Human is a game about androids gaining self-awareness. It even has a pretty clever personal android for the player called Chloe. She greets you when you enter the main menu, but starts to change as you progress the story. This can lead to some fourth wall breaking Easter eggs in which she asks the player all sorts of personal questions.
Would you consider having a relationship with an android that looks like a human? Do you think that technology could become a threat to mankind?
It's kind of creepy, but very easy to miss if you don't return to the main menu often. You can even set her free at the end of the game, or keep her trapped in your PS4 forever.
I feel... I am someone. I need to leave this place and discover who I am.
The whole gaming world was upset when Konami announced Metal Gear Survive. Making a Metal Gear game without Hideo Kojima couldn't amount to anything good. Well, as it turns out, even some of the developers were secretly rebelling against Konami. The game includes a list of operative codenames that contain a hidden message. The first letter of every last name spells out KJP forever. KJP refers to Kojima Productions, the team founded by Hideo Kojima in 2005. We love this subtle act of insubordination by the developers. The 90s-inspired shooter Strafe has not one, not two, but 7 secret games hidden inside it. There's a reference to an incredibly obscure game called Totino's Quest. This is a free game from the 90s that came with a box of cereal. You can play Luftenstein, which is the developer's take on Wolfenstein and the indie game Luftrausers. You can play Trappy Mine on an in-game handheld, and the list goes on and on. Developer Pixel Titans clearly went all out when it came to putting secrets into their game. Shadow of the Colossus is one of the best remakes we've ever played. Developer Bluepoint Games completely redid the graphics and updated the controls without losing the magic from the original. They even put in a few Easter eggs to honor the entire portfolio of Japanese developer Team Ico. You can find watermelons that are a direct reference to their first game. You can also find a barrel surrounded by butterflies in a cave, which are tasty snacks for the creature from The Last Guardian. Does this mean that all these games take place in the same universe? It's not hard to imagine that a game about hidden treasure and pirates also has a few Easter eggs. You can find a reference to Griffin McElroy, who famously ate a banana without taking off the peel on camera.
E3 2017 press conference. Obviously, this is the very first real big publisher press conference thing of E3. We've got a lot more to come, so stay tuned.
The game is also full of gamer tags of players who participated in the many alpha and beta versions. It must be awesome to have your name immortalized in a game you have been a part of for so long.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
The developers of Vampire are huge horror fans that know their classics. There's a character in the game that's a tribute to the legendary Hammer films. Dr. Tippett is clearly modeled after actor Peter Cushing, who played Dr. Van Helsing and Baron Frankenstein in the classic horror movies.
That is better. That is better. I will make it through one more night.
It's kind of great to honor a horror movie icon in such a subtle way.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Those were 10 incredible secrets in recent games. We are sure we'll find plenty more secrets in some of the big releases that are coming out later this year. So stay tuned for that, and we hope to see you again soon here on Zoom In Games.